As you can see, this. So, um, as you can see, this is Dobrick's sister, right? I don't know. I didn't know that was Dobrick's sister, but I remember early 2020, I was watching a lot of Dobrick content. But then I was already going through the V2K. They were manipulating me. They were stimulating me. But usually it was killing me. It was toward the little babies, right? So when they did that toward the older kids, I didn't care. So when that video came by, this thumbnail came by, they stimulated me big time. But I thought, so maybe that's Dobrick girlfriend, right? Finding out that it's actually the sister. They make me think it was the girlfriend for some reason, so they can let that thing happen to me. I was like, okay, whatever. She's just, that's the sister. And matter of fact, she's only 16 years old in this picture. And so they crank up the stimulation, try to make me think something. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. You're the one making me feel this feeling. It's not natural, but whatever. Now they're like, oh, you see, we caught you. That's what you want. It's like, first of all, this kid, you can make her pass for maybe an 18-year-old, all right? And then she's dressed in a sexual way, so they can easily crank up the stimulations versus the babies. So, they wish I was subscribing to that. As you can see, okay. Um, like I said, I will make, I don't care if I make a trillion videos of this same thing over and over. My purpose is not to change what's going to happen to me, because that's not going to happen. My purpose is to obviously show the patterns of what they've been doing. You just heard this video I made about the Dobrick sister. They did this thing a while ago. Right after I got the V2K, they were doing these things to me, right? That's when everything changed. That's when you react and respond to things differently. It was this thumbnail of this Dobrick sister, which at the time I didn't even know. I was scrolling, and they made me think this is Dobrick girlfriend, right? Because I'm looking at her, I was like, oh, that's Dobrick's girlfriend. But they gave me like this strong stimulation, right? Which they're capable of doing. And I thought it was the girlfriend for some reason, which I know the reason. The reason is because they were in my head, and they can make me think in any ways possible, right? They have the ability to take over my brain and make me think in whatever. But I was not really concerned about that at the time, because what they were doing to me was the stimulation, which is still toward the little girls, the little kids, the babies, which was the worst, right? So when they did that to all the kids, I was like, I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I have to deal with this little baby here. Is like 5-year-old, 4-year-old, 3-year-old. Before making this video, there's like, I took a screenshot of what they did to me to like a little like 6-year-old kid. It was nasty. So when they do that to like this kid like who's 16, well, I found out she's 16. It's not as bad, right? You're like, okay, whatever. I can deal with that. It's not gonna break me down. But when they do that to babies, this is just too much. But they made me think that it was they made me think it was the girlfriend of the Dobrick, and then realize, oh, look at the title. I was like, oh, that's Dobrick's sister. And I was like, how old is she? And I'm looking, it's like, she's a kid, she's only 16 years old. But mind you, at this point, they make me have stimulations, perceptions are manipulated. They can make me experience whatever. And you see you see the picture in this is a thumbnail. That's all you see. She could pass for like a 18-year-old or whatever like that, but she was just like, she's even younger. So they can easily mess with me. Yesterday, of course, they do some nasty things, but for this kid who more looked like a kid who obviously looked like an obvious teenage kid, right? You see her there. Matter of fact, the reason why I cover her breast area is because they try to force me to look at her in such a sexual way. It's so sad. Do everything possible to look at this kid in a sexual way, making me look at her breast area, try to make me even like look at her tan, like everything they can to try to make me look at this kid in a sexual way. I had to cover that. She obviously looked a little bit younger. She's like maybe 14, 15 years old, like not that much though. But obviously like a child, but it's so nasty when they try to make me look at this kid like a woman, because they're gonna try to make me look at her breasts in a certain ways. Also, it's just so nasty. She's a baby, teenager, like typical teenager, like teenager that you can recognize a mile away. It's not like those teenagers that look like way older than their age, right? It's just like a baby. But the way they force me to look at this kid is disgusting. And the nasty part is, they were having me have these dialogues in my head, and they want me to be so accepting of what's happening to my brain. I know my thoughts are not mine. I know this is what this technology is capable of doing. It overrides your thoughts and makes you have thoughts that you would not have naturally, right? And they have this perps that you'll see, right? I always show this perps around you, who's like, no, it's you, it's your thoughts. It's like, no, I know what this technology, I know, I'm aware. I'm aware that my mind is no longer mine. You have full control of how my brain goes, my thoughts. You guys are nasty. You guys are renowned to do this pedophilia type of torture. What you're gonna hear is specifically a woman saying that they do the same thing specifically to a teenager. I will never let them live the fantasy. They are here calling me the nothing because the horrible torture I'm going to experience. Like what life is like. Let me be a preacher, like preaching, like they like to say. What is life of somebody who does the things they do? I'd rather be this kind of nothing than the something that is trash are, that you see. This is truly nothings. They know that. They know that. They just try to find a way, and they find a sense of like, just because we're nothing together, that maybe that makes us something. I'd rather be this nothing by myself than having to live my life to try to make somebody accept thoughts that are so disturbing in pedophilia ways, and on top of that, force people to look at kids in these sexual ways. They literally force your brain to perceive kids in sexual ways. And you have these bottom feeders that the government have contracted to try to get you to accept these things. Now they've seen my torture in every way. Look at this. If you've seen these people in person, these true bottom feeders, that's what they are, bottom feeders. You will understand that if you're a nothing, this trash are something below nothing. As much as they try to make you accept that you're this and that, this is who they are. It's so biblical in the sense that a nothing will try to project something to you, try to make you believe you're the nothing. Imagine your life doing what they do, try to make you perceive things in these ways, then try to make you accept thoughts that you know are not naturally happening, that you're not having those natural dialogues. This is not, you know that the technology, the sophistications of the technology is that advanced that they can overtake your brain and make you have thoughts that are not yours. And at this point, I'm so aware. I'm like, this is crazy how it goes in my brain. It feels really like I'm having my own. Those are my thoughts. It feels like those are mine. I know they're not. But I've said it with time. In 2020, I was saying that already. I was like, it feels like my thoughts, those fake thoughts are going more and more and more and more deeper. Like the ability to overtake my thoughts have gone even deeper in my consciousness, even deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm saying that 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I can pull up a video right now. So can you imagine today? It's something else. And these people, their job is like, oh, we caught you with this thought that we making you experience. It's crazy. And I know with time it's not going to get any better. And you have to be strong. But in the meantime, while I can't, I don't care if I make a trillion, if I make millions of videos, every day I'm making videos. I don't care. One thing is for sure, is for some things to never live a fantasy of theirs. Why am I making videos? It's because I want to continuously show the patterns of what they've been doing to me. Tomorrow will be something else. Today, yesterday was like this baby. As I was making this video, they stimulated me on a screenshot of a kid that messed with me before. Because what happened is, when they do these things to me, I show what they did to me. That's what's happening. I'm not gonna let them escape. They want me to identify with the nasty things I'm reacting, the nasty way I'm reacting to kids, because this is them manipulating me to react this way. Till my last breath. These people will never live life thinking that, oh, this guy has accepted these things that he knows. And he's trying to share that to anybody else who's in the same circumstances, which is a lot more than I thought. I don't care if one person watched this, and that's okay. I did my part. Just for example, this testimony you're gonna hear. This I heard from this uh, target individual testimonies. Just like Jackie, you're gonna hear. Just like mine, they all validated me in so many ways. And now it's my point, and I'm gonna make as many I need to know and show that those things are not happening naturally. That you're being forced to experience it this way. And this trash are truly the bottom feeders. So stay strong, target individuals, and know this low life, the who call you nothing. Well, you know the reality of what they are.
What I say. Playing with my dog. Know that attacks continue. I don't let them get me. Today they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use. A people, better said young people, also children and homosexuals. When I aggravated them I usually called demeaning names, and one of them is referring to homosexuals. For me all of the slaves are misfits, society haters, scumbags etc. No, I don't have anything personal against them, homosexuals, but as my way to aggravated the slaves, and since they love to use children for the torture and stalking, street theater etc. Especially teenagers for the stalking at close range with an attitude, they are using them during my sleep in the perversion program, and so you can imagine what the slaves of torture are pretending to do to me. In the last days, as today September 9th, '07, anything I do, either watching TV or reading of whatever I'm doing, they brush me sort of say, I feel like I'm aroused all day and I feel the palpitations in my genitals for what I'm thinking, and since the attack comes so quickly, I realized my programming has been set on auto.
I can be free from this torture. Every day has been a miracle of survival. I also experience what is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture. In 2015, I began to experience what some call V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as destructive and violent.
Any part of the body. This technology can be used to sexually manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal, or it can sort of turn off the